We are here at Eatonville Hotel, which is in Brisbane. It is a spectacular place to be. And I want to thank everyone involved behind the scenes here and also everyone who's here to ask questions of Peter Dutton. Thanks for giving us some time tonight, mate. I know there's plenty of time with the family that you miss out on, so thank you for giving us a little bit of it here. The whole point of this, again, ask some questions about the news, ask some questions trying to better understand the bloke you see on the news all the time. I'll have a couple of questions as well, but we've got Lachlan who wants to ask you a question. And yes, Lachlan is beneath voting age, but is a man who's got a question on the behalf of people like him. Go for it, mate.
All right. Hi, Mr. Dutton. My question is that if promised, you have promised to introduce a ban on social media for children under 16 if you're elected. So how will you ensure that these children can't access social media platforms?
Well, Lachlan, a couple of ways. I mean, you can do it through the hardware, so you can work with the companies and you can take that option. You can also look at software. You can provide operating system verification. So there are technologies now, obviously, as we know with the iPhone, where there's facial ID and there's the ability for technology to be able to be adopted. Now, you know, will some people be able to get around it? Yes, but I just don't think you should let the perfect be the enemy of the good. And when I see the impact now on young people and you see the pervasive nature of social media, the companies, frankly, don't have any regard for the social wellbeing of Australian 12 and 14-year-old kids and the adult content that they're receiving online and being indoctrinated with, and the graphic nature of some of what is being shared, the grooming that takes place through social media. I just don't think we can ignore it and pretend that everything's okay in their world, because it's not. And I think we have a responsibility to provide a safe environment. There's no way in the world you would allow your kids to go down to the local park without supervision at 8 or 12 years of age, or to pick up pornography, you know, books off the table or something like that. And why do we allow them to, you know, engage in that environment online?
Lockie, can I ask you a question? Firstly, you may hate that nickname, so I'll say Lachlan. Sorry. What do your mates say when they hear stuff in the news about teenagers and social media and Canberra making a decision? Are they annoyed at the concept? Do they get that there's a problem? Do they want someone to step in? What do they talk about?
Yeah, well, some of my friends that are more political, they understand that it's a big problem, but the majority of them are just, you know, addicted to kind of social media. They, you know, can't go 5 minutes in class without getting off it, and it's just affecting their schoolwork, and they are a bit annoyed at this decision, but I personally think it's for the best.
So, super dumb question from me. Are they literally sitting in class, books up and checking things?
Some of them not even books up, they just hide in the back, phone in front of the laptop, and some of them just playing out in front. The teachers have just given up sometimes.
Wow, that's incredible. Thank you, mate. Appreciate it. And this question as well, right? Two prongs, right? The kids aren't all right at the moment. And we know that for a whole collection of reasons, which are fixable, not fixable, more money, all the rest of it, right? But then there's the other question, which is the education system, right? Now, obviously, it would be your intent, like everyone in the room, everyone watching, and even people who wouldn't think like us, that we want the best possible system. We've spent so much money at this and it keeps going down. Yeah. What efforts will you put in between now and the election to trying to come up with a way of turning this around? Because we spend more money for worse results.
I think there's an opportunity here in Queensland, to be honest, and I think it'll be a good case study and a contrast to what's happening perhaps in Victoria under the Allen government there, to see what an incoming education minister can do to review the curriculum, to look at what's being taught to kids, the indoctrination that takes place and the politicisation of the classroom by some teachers as well. And I think parents will always have the primary responsibility, and but nonetheless, when we send our kids to school, we expect them to receive an education, not an indoctrination.
Yeah, and good point.
There is, you know, I think there's a lot that can be done very quickly here in Queensland, particularly because there's no upper house and they can pass legislation as is required for the betterment of Queensland kids.
Good stuff.